Bessie Smith, born on April 15, 1894, Chattanooga, Tennessee, is remembered as the Empress of the Blues and one of the most influential vocalists in American music history. She grew up in poverty after losing both of her parents at a young age, and she and her siblings survived by performing in the streets. As a teenager, Bessie joined traveling vaudeville shows, where her electrifying voice, bold personality, and emotional depth quickly set her apart. In 1923, she signed with Columbia Records and released her breakthrough hit Downhearted Blues, which sold over 1 million copies and instantly made her one of the biggest stars of the 1920s. Smith dominated the decade with classics like St. Louis Blues, Tain't Nobody's Business If I Do, Nobody Knows You When You're Down and Out, Give Me a Pig Foot and a Bottle of Beer. Her songs captured the struggles, heartache, humor, and strength of Black life during the early 20th century. Throughout her career, Bessie Smith was known not only for her music, but also for her fearless independence. She openly defied social norms, lived lavishly, and was known for both relationships with men and women. Her powerful voice influenced future generations of artists, including Billie Holiday, Janis Joplin, and Aretha Franklin. Although the Great Depression slowed down the recording industry and impacted her career, Smith remained a magnetic live performer. Her life was tragically cut short on September 26, 1937, when she died from injuries sustained in a car accident in Mississippi at the age of 43. Despite the myths surrounding her death, her legacy remains untouched. Bessie Smith helped define the blues and shaped modern music with her raw, emotional style and unmatched vocal power. Today, she stands as a towering figure in American cultural history, honored in the Grammy Hall of Fame and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and remembered as the greatest blues singer of her era. Columbus, Georgia, founded in 1828, sits on the banks of the Chattahoochee River and was established as one of the last frontier towns in America's deep southeast. Named after explorer Christopher Columbus, the city was designed to serve as a key trading post and industrial center for the young state of Georgia. During the 19th century, Columbus grew rapidly thanks to its river-powered cotton mills, textile factories, and thriving port economy. The city became an important manufacturing hub, especially during the Civil War, when it produced weapons, machinery, and supplies for the Confederacy. After the war, Columbus rebuilt itself through industry, railroads, and commerce, slowly transforming from a frontier settlement into a modern southern city. By the 20th and 21st centuries, Columbus evolved into a major cultural and economic center. It became home to Fort Moore, formerly Fort Benning, one of the largest U.S. Army bases in the world, which shaped the city's identity and economy for decades. Columbus also developed strong educational and cultural institutions, including Columbus State University, the National Civil War Naval Museum, and the River Center for the Performing Arts. In recent years, the city has focused on revitalization, turning the historic riverfront, once industrial, into a destination for tourism, outdoor recreation, and the famous Chattahoochee River Whitewater Course, one of the longest urban whitewater trails on Earth. Today, Columbus stands as a blend of history, military tradition, arts, and southern hospitality, known for its resilience, diversity, and continuous growth. Little Richard, born Richard Wayne Penniman on December 5, 1932, in Macon, Georgia, was a groundbreaking pioneer who helped shape the sound of rock and roll. Raised in a strict religious household, he developed a love for gospel music, but his bold personality often clashed with his family's expectations. At just 15, he left home to perform on the road, carrying with him a voice and stage presence unlike anything audiences had ever seen. His 1955 hit Tutti Frutti changed the course of music history with its explosive energy and unique rhythm, influencing legends like Elvis Presley, James Brown, and the Beatles. Through the 1950s and beyond, Little Richard's flamboyant style, gender-bending appearance, and electrifying performances broke cultural barriers and helped define the foundation of modern pop and rock music. Despite his fame, Little Richard lived a life filled with contradictions. He openly spoke about relationships with men, yet later condemned homosexuality due to his deep religious beliefs, repeatedly leaving the music industry to become a preacher before returning to the stage. As a black, gender non-conforming artist in a segregated and conservative era, he faced discrimination and industry marginalization, but his impact remained undeniable. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1986 and received a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award in 1993. Little Richard passed away on May 9, 2020, at age 87 from bone cancer, leaving behind a lasting legacy as the architect of rock and roll, whose influence continues to shape music and self-expression worldwide. Sylvester James Jr., known worldwide simply as Sylvester, was born on September 6, 1947, in Los Angeles, California. Raised in a deeply religious Pentecostal family, he discovered his voice early through church choirs, but his bold, gender-fluid expression clashed with the strict expectations of his community. After leaving home as a teenager, Sylvester joined the avant-garde performance group The Coquettes in San Francisco, where he embraced a flamboyant style characterized by glitter gowns and powerful falsetto vocals. His breakthrough came in the late 1970s when he transitioned into disco, releasing hits like You Make Me Feel Mighty Real and Dance Disco Heat, songs that became international anthems and solidified his status as one of disco's most unique and influential voices. His music blended soul, gospel, disco, and electronic elements, making him a pioneer who reshaped queer visibility in mainstream pop culture. Despite his glamorous stage persona, Sylvester faced discrimination as an openly gay, gender non-conforming black artist during a time when such identities were heavily stigmatized. Still, he remained unapologetically himself, becoming an icon of LGBTQ+ liberation and a symbol of authenticity. Throughout the 1980s, he continued performing and recording, even as disco's popularity declined, and later became one of the first celebrities to openly discuss HIV and AIDS. Sylvester died on December 16, 1988, at the age of 41 due to AIDS-related complications. Before his passing, he ensured that his royalties would go to organizations supporting HIV/AIDS awareness. Today, Sylvester is remembered not only as the Queen of Disco, but also as a trailblazer whose voice, style, and courage transformed music and inspired generations of artists and LGBTQ individuals around the world.